Okay, so the Scrambler's got these arms that go out like this, right? And then these things, if this thing is rotating this way, right? These things on the end here are going quite the other way, right? They're spinning this way, right? Which is, why it's so scrambly like that, right? Basically, there's not much you can do. We can get good measurements from this, and we've measured a lot of these axes, like from the center to the whatever, right? So we've got really good measurements of this. We've got good measurements of this radius here on the website, right? Okay, so what you can do is you can actually figure out the acceleration of the major thing, right? When I say major, I mean like this acceleration right here. Okay, and that's just going to be 4 pi squared r over t squared. So let it go around and just measure how long it takes one beam of this thing to go around. One of these major things like this, right? Measure how long it takes that guy to go around. That's your period there, right? And then you're going to figure out the minor period, which is the time it takes this guy to go around, right? And that acceleration is going to be 4 pi squared r over t squared, right? And then when you're at the edge of this thing, the acceleration that you feel will just be, we add those up, right? Okay, add this guy to this guy, and that should be the lateral acceleration that you feel, that crushing acceleration, right? Your motion is actually that you kind of go woo, 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 right? You go way out to the edge and you come back in like that, right? The second thing you could do with this is that we've got an interactive physics simulation. I'll try to bust out a vid next week of that and just show you what it does. But you can mess around with that and program in the periods and the lengths and all this stuff, right? And see if it generates the g-forces. Let's just look at the g-forces, right? The lateral g-forces on this guy. We'll go here. Okay, so we'll go into Oaks Park, right? And we'll look at the Scrambler. Okay, and then notice that we know that distance is 1.24 meters. We know that that's 4.45, right? And that's all we have. You can, from that distance there, you can measure this distance here. Okay, so anyway, let's just go into this thing. All right, let's look and see what we've got. We've got an axial, and we don't want axial. We actually want a lateral acceleration. There we go. Lateral acceleration. There it is. That ought to be good. Should you think? Save link as. Save it. Don't save. There we go. That's crazy. Okay, so let's go graph options. I don't think we want any of those things, do we? There you go. Okay, so look at this lateral acceleration, right? I mean, at times it's like a negative acceleration. This is what acceleration we feel to the right. Okay, so and this thing is jamming you to the left, so that's why we're feeling all these to the right. If you look at top speed, it's pulling about 14. You feel about 1.5 times as heavy on your side. That's why people crush you, right? So we ought to get about 14, 13, 12 or so meters per second squared of acceleration laterally, right? So anyway, that's the thing to do, I think, on the Scrambler. Besides figure out the Scrambler code, like exactly what is the ratio of spins, right?